Hi everyone, welcome to Phrase It Friday. I'm Alex, the founder and developer of Phrase It, the English language card game and the fun dice game that you can use to improve your English through practicing in a fun way. You can find those links below here on Amazon. You can get my Phrase It cards and Phrase It dice there. Today, I will teach you two new phrasal verbs. Our two new words are cut up. Cut up. This is an irregular verb. So like in past tense, I'll say cut up. Like we cut up the chicken. So maybe I have to cut the chicken or the vegetables, and we chop. Another word is chop, but a lot of the time we'll say cut up the chicken. Or I can cut up with scissors. I can cut up the paper. So I'm cutting up the paper with scissors. So that's cut up. It has a couple more definitions that are kind of informal, like it's not used too often, but sometimes in English we'll say, oh, he really cut it up with silliness. Like it's something really funny that someone might say. He cut up the room because he told a really funny joke. So a lot of people laughed, or it was kind of a crazy moment. They'll say that person cut things up. But most of the time we use it in like literally cutting things. And the past tense is also cut because it's an irregular verb. So please listen and say this with me. Cut up. Cut up. It's the same. Present tense, past tense. And future, we say will cut up. We will cut up something. So when you're planning a meal, you might say, we will cut up the vegetables and the chicken and mix them in the skillet. Or we will need to cut up the steak before cooking it on the grill. Or we'll need to cut up the broccoli, or cut up the celery, or cut up the carrots before we put them in the recipe. Okay, so that's cut up. Okay, or the children cut up the paper for their craft activity. We cut up the paper. And sometimes you do that for maybe some manufacturing jobs, like they'll cut up the parts of the machining, but that's another word. So that's one, cut up. Our second phrasal verb for Phrase It Friday is pass out. Pass out. And that can mean to faint, like you didn't drink enough water, you feel dizzy, or someone sees a cut. Maybe someone has their arm cut up, you're cut up, you're bleeding everywhere. Ah! The other person who sees the blood goes, ah. That's pass out. Or this one, pass out. And pass out can be very serious. Maybe you pass out while walking or driving. That can cause a serious accident. So sometimes people have brain injury or something. They'll pass out. And it's not always safe, and sometimes dangerous for those people when they drive. And so it's good to get your health checked so you understand if you're passing out, to find out why. One time I went to the restroom, a couple times I went to the restroom at night, and when I went to the bathroom, I stood up too quickly. That's another phrasal verb I think I taught you before. If not, stand, like stand up, stand up or stood up. In the middle of the night, I woke up, and then I stood up quickly. And because I stood up so quickly, the blood didn't come to my head, and I passed out. That story is past tense, so I had to use ed. Passed out. Not pass ed. That's a common mistake with English learners. They'll say pass it out. Well, when I add ed, this one's a regular verb. Unlike cut up, passed out is a regular verb. So when I say passed out, I say passed, and the ed is a T sound. So also regular verbs that end in an S sound with an ed past tense, regular verbs that end with an S sound that have ed at the end, we do not say d or id ed. We say it with a t sound. T, t. Can you say that? T, t. See, my teeth go here with my tongue. My tongue go here to make that sound. I push the air out. No voice. I just go t, t. Can you say that? Passed out. I passed out. He passed out. She passed out. Got it? One more time. Pass out. Passed out. Good. Okay, let's practice our 2 phrasal verbs for Phrase It Friday. So, pass out means to faint. I completely forgot your second definition of pass out. We have another one. So maybe after I cut up the paper, I pass out a piece of paper to each person. Or maybe I use my card game. I pass out cards to everyone to practice English. Or if you're playing a game, you pass out the cards. Or a teacher might pass out papers. Another thing you can pass out is when you cut the food up, right? You pass out the food to each person. Or maybe I fill up water for someone and I pass out the water to each person. And so that's something you can do. Pass out something. So, pass out, cut up. Okay, quick update for you. Those are the 2 phrasal verbs you learned this week. So now you can go and practice English. And please comment below with your own sentence. Say, I cut up, or we cut up this. And be nice with your words with this one, okay? Also, pass out. Name something you pass out, or talk about a time when you passed out. Okay? Also, update. I am working on this new set of cards. If you have bought my other deck, I had 70 of the most common phrasal verbs. I'm going to share with you 50 more of the next most common ones, like cut up and pass out, in about a bunch of these cards, but I will have them manufactured in a new awesome card game called Phrase It 2. Also, in Phrase It 2, you're going to get a really fun new way to play where you get to use 50 of the most frequently used noun cards. So we might say something like water, and I have to match this card with the noun. So I'll have to say, oh, pass out the water, please. Or you could say something like, book. Oh, they cut up the book. Oh no, maybe they didn't like the book. They cut it up. And so you can really practice making sentences the way native English speakers really talk. And that will be called Phrase It 2. And I hope to have that released hopefully by June of 2019. So please stay up to date. If you get my Phrase It cards, you'll probably get an email. If you want to stay up to date on my Phrase It cards and information, please subscribe below, share this video, and also below this video, there is a link where you can get all 70 of these words defined in English for you with example sentences. So you have to sign up with my Get 70 Words You Need to Know. If you sign up for that email, you will also get emails I'll send out about my online class that you can actually buy, my online class that slowly goes through some English that you really need to know. But you can also get the 70 words that are on my cards with example sentences if you sign up below. And when I do create Phrase It 2, you'll know when to buy it. So that's it for Phrase It Friday. I went a little long today, but I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you at the next Phrase It Friday. Subscribe, share, have a great weekend.